Are you ready? It's time for Disturbin the Burbs.
Hey everybody, here we are. I am one of your hosts, Jim Sharon.
And I'm Jen Sharon.
Yeah, just in case you were wondering who the hell we are. Anyway, thank you for downloading or streaming or
Listening right online.
Yeah, however you're listening to us. Thanks for giving Disturbin the Burbs a try if this is your first time. If you are a regular listener, welcome back.
Yeah.
I know the waits tend to be a little long. We don't release new episodes every week. I think in a perfect world, we would love to do that. But, you know, life gets in the way.
Gotta have goals, honey.
Yeah, goals are always good. But anyway, welcome back. Man, how's it going, Jen? How's your week been?
It's actually been a kind of fun week.
Yeah.
Had some plans with friends.
Yes, the illicit... having company over during quarantine.
And we enjoyed the sun a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually starting to get a little cooler now.
Got the backsplash done on our kitchen, and that made me feel happy. So, you know.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, we've been remodeling our kitchen all summer long. And it has been quite the saga. And, you know, during the quarantine, during all of this COVID-19 nonsense,
bullshit.
It's not the right time. We chose poorly to remodel our kitchen during this time. But who knew that manufacturing of major appliances would come to a screeching halt, which makes sense because, you know, any sort of, you know, company
but
such
we want
as GE.
What we want, damn it. So.
Right. Yeah, you know, they quit working. They shut down the factories and that sort of thing, and people weren't assembling major appliances, and we have a cooktop that has yet to be born. Mm-hmm. It's just an embryo right now, waiting to exit the womb and become a fully
formed electronic appliance.
Right.
Anyway, that's life in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we're waiting on, and hopefully we'll at least have that by the end of 2020.
Oh, knock on wood.
I was going to say 2021,
right
but holy shit. I hope it isn't wait until the end of 2021. But here we are, episode 20 of Disturbin the Burbs. And that's actually a pretty decent milestone. Do you hear my voice crack when I said that?
Yeah, I was going to let you get away with that.
But yeah, you know, I know people that put out podcasts have episode 20 within their first 2 months. But not the Sharons. No,
still a milestone.
It is a pretty big milestone for us with, you know, jobs and lives and everything like that. At least we're still putting out episodes. We've got a couple more months before our anniversary show at the end of October, so we're really looking forward to that. We're getting a lot of fun things lined up.
We got a lot of things to announce.
Yep, for a fun October, an anniversary month, if you will.
I think that's a perfect idea.
Yeah, so we've got kind of that going on. But yeah, episode 20, I'm really glad that we made it. Couldn't want a better partner in crime than my lovely and talented and humorous and wanton wife.
Hey now. Thank you.
No, you're just wanton alcoholic beverages all the time.
Maybe we should talk about our drinks now.
Oh yeah. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking the wonderful concoction you have made. It's a blackberry margarita.
Yeah. And some cousins of mine had posted something on Instagram, and it was a lovely looking beverage. And I, you know, messaged them, what is that you're drinking? And they said blackberry lime margarita. And I said, that sounds delicious. And so I found a recipe online, and I wasn't about ready to make my own blackberry simple syrup. So we found a blackberry syrup on Amazon.
Thank you, Amazon.
Yep. And proceeded to make this lovely, nice tart.
So that awesome picture you showed me, that wasn't your cousin's? Is that the recipe you found?
Yeah, that was just from some beverage recipe online.
Gotcha.
But it's pretty
Obviously,
tasty. What do you think?
Color enhanced.
Yeah, right. This looks like somebody took a poop in some blackberry liquid or
All right,
something.
now I would not have gone that far, but it is delicious.
Okay, so it tastes good. It looks like.
It's just a very muted color. It's like mauve.
Would you call that bile?
No.
Okay, so it's slightly more.
It's pink, hun.
Okay, yeah, it's
It's
mauve.
just not,
right?
vivid watermelon, electric watermelon pink.
Oh, that is so good. It's nice and tart.
Awesomeness.
I like tart alcoholic beverages. A couple shots of tequila in each one. It's lovely.
It is.
So, folks, if you're wanting to make your own blackberry lime margarita, basically, here's what it is. It's 2 shots of tequila. It is 2 ounces of blackberry syrup. Now, you can either make your own blackberry simple syrup, and you can find recipes for that online. We went the easy route, got blackberry syrup off of Amazon.com. 2 ounces of fresh lime juice. We choose the pre-bottled kind. Easier.
That's a lot of lime.
That is a lot of lime juice. And then I actually put in a little bit of lemon juice, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, and then I topped it off with some Diet 7-Up. Give it a little bit of fizz.
And that's what it needed.
Make it a spritzer.
It's lovely.
So it is a lovely beverage.
And I shall have another.
Oh, I was going to say, are you ready for one right now already?
Not
Okay.
quite.
Haven't sucked that one down. All right. But anyway, yeah. So congratulations.
To you, honey. All your hard
Congratulations
work.
to you for all your hard work. It's not easy, running toe to toe with me
Thank you.
on the mic sometimes.
Well, you're the planner and the one who executes all this. So.
Yeah, the editing. I wouldn't wish that on
Yeah.
anybody.
I am merely the co-host.
So yes, well,
But I'm here for it, and I have.
I wouldn't have a
get the fun
show
part. I
right
get
now.
to
We
do-
wouldn't have a show without you. So
Aw.
together we are the super friends. Are the Wunder
The Suburbanites.
Yes, the Suburbanites. Anyway,
Well, that's
wow.
what we call our fans.
If you've made it through these first 5 minutes, you deserve a medal because this is some serious rambling.
But it's banter.
It is banter back and forth. Anyway, yes, we mentioned a little bit ago that our anniversary show is coming up at the end of October. We actually launched this on Halloween last year.
Yeah.
And so it really makes sense to us to make that kind of an annual, event and kind of cover very similar topics that we covered on that first episode. And of course, it's all, since it was Halloween, it was all about paranormal experiences that we've had.
it was us talking. Introduction to the world. We had great stories and topics to tell.
Yeah.
But now here, a full year later, coming full circle, now we've got listeners and
Right.
we've had call-ins.
Yep.
And so we want to make that a part of it.
Yep. And so, I'll just kind of put this out there right now, but you'll see some advertising, that sort of thing on social media and whatnot here coming up in the next week. But I want to invite those of you that have ever had any sort of like paranormal experience, seen a ghost, had something happen to you that you couldn't quite explain, made the hair on the back of your neck raise up, or just, made you kind of feel on edge. It would be great if we could get you to either call our hotline at 1-206-800-6405 and, tell us about your experience, of course, in a 30-second burst.
Yeah, it's got to be an efficiently told story if you're going to leave it on the voicemail,
Right.
or you could spread it over two.
because there's about 30 seconds that you can leave
Yeah.
there. So, or
Or-
if you have a much longer story that you want to talk to us, get a hold of us. Leave us a message on the hotline. Say you want to be on the show. You can email us at disturbintheburbs@gmail.com. You can leave us a message on our Facebook page.
Any of the social media.
Yep. You can go to our websites at disturbintheburb.com and leave an email there. So there's lots of different ways to get a hold of us. And if you want to do a segment with Jen and I and talk about your paranormal experience, that's a hard word for me to say. I kind of blend it all together. But paranormal experience.
We have the whole phone interview thing nailed down now,
Yeah.
so we can do it all over the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to come into the studio. We can get on Zencaster. It's a great online service for doing remote interviews. And we can get on there and talk about your ghost story. Woo!
Yeah.
And if we get enough, we can play these all throughout the month of October.
True. Yeah.
But then we've got some other things in the works. We want to talk to, there's a local farm up here called Stalker Farms. Isn't that how you pronounce it? Stalker?
Yeah, Stalker. Yeah.
Not Stoker, Stalker Farms. And they have a haunt every Halloween. And hopefully we're going to talk to the person that organizes all of that and some of his freak show folks that work for the haunted. It's not a haunt. Is it a haunted corn maze? Or I've never been.
I don't know if they do the corn maze there, but it's a haunted house kind of thing.
Yeah, I hear it's actually pretty cool. I'll have to go this year and experience it myself.
Yeah.
So I actually know what the big hoopla is all
Record
about.
it as you go through so you can hear it play back here.
Yeah, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Screaming like a girl.
Right. You'd probably just hear me dropping the F-bomb and cursing the entire time. That's usually what happens. So anyway, I think that kind of covers what we're planning for October. We've just got various interviews and call-ins and different little things to talk about, to celebrate.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah. We want to hear from you to help us celebrate our first year on our podcast. So we just got a couple more months to get through here. And anyway, that should be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So let's talk about our watch list, hits and misses.
Yeah.
What have we been watching over the last couple of weeks? We've watched a ton.
What do we regret watching?
Yeah, what are misses? What are some of the hits? We tend to be all over the place because there's 3 of us in the house, and
sometimes we manage to convince our kid to spend time with us.
On family night, and those family night movies can go way back in time because there's a lot of movies that he hasn't seen that we kind of enjoy and want him to watch, and this time was no different. But one that we would rewatched that I had only seen maybe once, maybe twice, was kind of a fun movie called Pixels.
Yeah.
And that's
Adam Sandler.
that's with Adam Sandler. Kevin James plays the president of the United States. Josh Gad, and if you don't know who Josh Gad is, he's the voice of Olaf on the Frozen movies. In summer, anyway, and then Peter Dinklage is in that, and he is also known from Game of Thrones as Tyrion Lannister, the Imp. Yes, and he's great in this one. Doesn't disappoint. I actually really enjoy this movie.
I think you maybe had only watched it once because you didn't remember any of it. I think Carter and I maybe had watched it an extra time. And it's just, it's fun. I mean, people pick on Adam Sandler movies, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, let's tell the folks a little bit about what it's about. It's basically about some young kids that were really good at playing video games, and one of them grows up to be the president of the United States, and the other one is, I think, a electrician or
he's
a
like
tech
he's
guy.
like a Geek Squad.
Yeah, Geek Squad guy.
Technician.
Yeah, technician. And unbeknownst to everybody, he kind of has the ear of the president, obviously, because they've remained really good friends. And through a series of events, the United States, or the world actually, ends up getting attacked by aliens, but in the form of all these video games that they used to play as kids, such as Centipede, Donkey Kong.
Yeah. And the reason is that the time capsule they sent into space had the video games on there.
Right. And so hilarity ensues, as you can imagine.
Only the geeks can save the world, basically. Right. Soldiers are useless.
So anyway, give that one a watch if you want just some kind of family fun, brainless humor. It's typical Adam Sandler type movie, right? Just lots of yucks and whatnot, but definitely worth a watch. Yeah. So hey, Pixels. And then next up on the list, we've jumped in and started watching because we like Kevin Costner, and 2, I think this show has come recommended, or at least I've definitely seen good reviews about it online.
Oh, I've seen people recommend it. Yeah.
But the show called Yellowstone.
We're coming a little late to the game on that one. It's in its 3rd season.
Yeah, 3rd season. And that actually is it's a fantastic show. I think it's very well produced.
One of the few dramas I don't often love the hour-long dramas, but this one's real good.
Yeah, it's
intense.
It's an intense show. It's a show about a big, huge ranch in Montana, supposedly the largest ranch in Montana, called the Yellowstone. It's not actually about Yellowstone Park.
Right.
But
no geysers.
Yep, no geysers. And the series is shot in Utah and Montana. The Dutton Ranch, that's what it is. That house is actually a real ranch in Darby, Montana.
Okay.
And so that is like a 102-year-old lodge called Chief Joseph Ranch.
Really? Okay. I didn't. Yeah. I'm glad you looked that up. It's beautiful. I would totally go there.
Yeah. So that's kind of, they use that as the backdrop, but then of course everything else is filmed on a Hollywood set.
Oh yeah.
You know, the interior shots, it's all on it.
Just the acting though is fantastic.
Yeah.
The storylines are so dramatic.
Yeah. One thing I did read about that was the only way that Kevin Costner would actually join this show is that he would have the guarantee of how this was shot, because he doesn't like episodic television and how that's shot. And that's probably why you and I like it so much, because it feels cinematic when you're
like
watching it. It feels a lot more like a movie.
Interesting.
So whatever that means, I am not a filmmaker, so I don't know what the difference is between episodic TV and films and how those are filmed and how everything transpires. But whatever that is, it just makes it a really fun show to watch.
I'd say at this point that my favorite character, I think it's the daughter. She's a total bitch, but then sometimes you feel so empathetic for her, and she's a fantastic actress because she makes you feel opposite ways about her. Depending on the moment.
I never watched Dallas or any of those shows when I was growing up, but I imagine this is like a real high quality Dallas type of show. And there's tons of drama. Within the first few episodes, there's just obviously tons of family turmoil and history that they've experienced, and it's dark. It is dark. There's some real darkness there. There's he has ranch hands, and so there's kind of a dark storyline that kind of weaves through the ranch hands, and it's all about loyalty, family loyalty.
Oh yeah.
Ranch loyalty.
Legacy.
Yeah, and then of course their property, borders the Indian reservation property. And so there's a lot of turmoil there. There's developers that have come into town that want to build hotels and resorts, and that borders the property. And so there's a lot of, political type of stuff that is happening. So it's a fantastic show.
We've finished the first season.
Right. Yeah. So if you're wanting that really good quality drama, and you can't get a bigger star. Well, you probably could get a bigger star than Kevin Costner, but he hasn't lost his acting touch at all. He's fantastic in this show.
Yep.
He's always been great in westerns and sport movies.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
He's why I love sports movies.
Yeah. So and that can be another
2 thumbs up.
That could actually be an episode we could do in the future. Is just
movies.
Favorite sports movies.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's write that one down.
For sure.
September, let's do that one.
Okay.
Folks, you hear it? This is how it all comes together. We're just sitting here bullshitting, and all of a sudden we've got an episode. Next, this was a miss for me, and I think it was a miss for you too.
Oh, totally.
American Pickle on HBO Max. This was a starring vehicle for Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to Seth Rogen. I'm actually a fan of.
I actually like him.
Yeah, I like Seth Rogen. I like a lot of the stuff he writes and stars in. What was that one that where he and his wife move in next door to a frat house? What's that?
Neighbors.
He was hilarious in that movie. So that's another one we need to watch again.
I'd watch that. Not with Carter.
Not with Carter, yeah. But American Pickle had me pickled, Jen.
It just wasn't engaging enough.
It was so bad.
It was a little boring.
It was very, very boring. And I think that pretty much sums it up. Is probably one of the most.
Wasn't it rated fairly well? I don't remember.
I don't know if it was rated well at all or not, but when I got mocked when I told friends that I'd watched it. So
we watched it.
Yeah, we watched it. Not worth it. Don't waste your time. and move on to something better.
Such as?
And I'm not necessarily saying that Project Power is necessarily much better than American Pickle.
I liked
It was entertaining.
Netflix.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. It stars Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and a handful of other people that I have no idea who they are, newcomers to the scene. It was an interesting premise. Interesting premise. And, obviously I love movies that have to do with supernatural or superpowers. Always been a fan of the Marvel movies, but we're also big fans all the way back from Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, all the way forward.
I think our fans probably know this about us.
Yeah, we like anything kind of supernatural. Obviously, we love the show Supernatural. And that's one that it's not on this week's list, but we've
talked about it recently.
Okay, yeah. So we're still just kind of watching episodes weaved into all of these other things that we watch periodically. But Project Power was interesting.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie
Netflix
Netflix original movie. And I don't know if it was because there wasn't enough backstory of it's basically, and you can get this from reading the synopsis on Netflix. It's like, what if you could take a pill and get superpowers for a burst of a short period of time, right? And long story short, it's kind of like there's this conglomerate or somebody, and that's maybe why it's a bit of a disconnect for me, is you don't know why exactly. It's not as clear.
I think you hit it on the head that it's not enough backstory. It's like we step into the middle of it, and they don't do a good enough job of explaining how these pills got out. Right,
and why they're actually doing. I'd need to know more of that up front, because you don't actually learn the why until much later in the movie. And but anyway,
having said that, it's still a fun action movie.
Anything like that, where you're popping something that you get this rush of energy, it's addicting, right? And I don't know if there was supposed to be some sort of socio-economic message, or
well, they imply it's basically like an illegal drug, like a street drug,
right? And I don't know if they were trying to make a statement on the state of the current situation in our cities and whatnot, from a drug standpoint. But anyway, it was lost on me if they were trying to. But it was good. I was entertained.
I liked it.
And I guess that's something that you and I often.
Better than American Pickle?
Right. Yes. That's now our gauge, right? Was it better than American Pickle? Yes, it was. Okay, then it was worth watching. But I think it kind of got like somewhere around 60 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. And so I can kind of understand that.
We watched it the first weekend it was out.
It's worth watching, but don't, keep your expectations low. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. We can say
that's
that.
Fine. I agree. Concur.
And then right after that, we watched
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
This just came out, so there's only been 2 episodes.
2 episodes,
so far.
Episodic. I think a new one's getting. Is there a new one tonight?
I'm not sure.
I can't
so it's
remember.
HBO.
Right. Yeah. HBO Max.
And they're not like Netflix releasing a whole season at a time.
Right. Yeah. You've got to kind of come back and watch it week after week. Unless you want to wait until the end of the season and then wait for them all to be out there and then watch it once in a row. But you know what? I kind of miss episodic television and anxiously awaiting for the next episode to come around.
We need more things to look forward to right now.
Yeah, right. And this is another genre that we enjoy. This is a show that was created by Jordan Peele, and you remember him from Key and Peele, the comedy show, and he's gone on to make some great movies. Get Out,
award-winning.
Yeah, and Us.
So he's got the horror genre.
Yeah, and then it was also produced by J.J. Abrams. And so, as you can imagine, Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft is this author, and he wrote these pulp kind of fiction, sci-fi, just completely over the top sci-fi novels.
Right.
And didn't make a ton of money out of it, but definitely had a genre in his writing that sci-fi writers that came after him really, consider him one of the pioneers of that genre.
Right.
And so there was actually a book that was written called Lovecraft Country, and that's what this series is actually based on, is that book called Lovecraft Country. And so this is based in, the 1950s, and folks get ready because it's
really tough to like summarize this one. I almost would say watch the synopsis, go find the preview for it.
Right.
The trailer.
The thing that's probably most polarizing for me is that, you have the main characters are African Americans. They're driving through the South where racism was still prevalent, that there were sundown laws where Black people had to be out of city limits by sunset, which and that's not that long ago when you think about it. No. It was the 1950s, 1960s, even into the 70s, where some of those laws were still in place. And just to kind of see how it's playing out in this show is pretty.
It's eye-opening. I hate to say that,
and
but
gripping.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you weave through this whole science fiction, storyline through the first couple episodes. Obviously, it's going to be that way throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty over the top. I was incredibly entertained. I was willing to look way beyond any sort of like plot holes or any misses that are, in those 2 episodes, because for me, it was far more entertaining than anything that I could poke a hole into. So, yeah,
I'm trying to find the words to describe it. It's just, it's hard to.
Yeah.
But positive. I mean, I think it's going to be like you said, a wild ride.
I think if you're fans of a lot of the stuff that J.J. Abrams puts out, and definitely if you're a fan of the Get Out and Us movies that Jordan Peele has put out, and then you add a little dash of M. Night Shyamalan in there, or Shyamalan, or however you pronounce his last name, because I think there's little hints of that in there as well. It makes for just really entertaining television. So definitely 2 thumbs up from this corner.
Me too.
Okay, yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah. And then another thing that we got back into that we kind of paused on for a little bit, and I'm actually glad that we did jump back in. Bless you, Teddy.
That was Teddy sneezing.
Teddy's sneezing in the background. Anyway, was Warrior Nun. I actually have really enjoyed.
I think we just needed a little break from it, and then we're back.
Yeah, and
fully
actually
involved in it.
The second half of that season has been just fantastic.
Oh, we did finish it, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe we have one more episode left. But
it was a big old cliffhanger. Sorry to give that away.
Oh, well,
they are getting a second season. So.
Yeah. So I would say, it's based on a graphic novel. Don't let the name dissuade you from watching this. I was talking to a couple buddies about this, and they're like, I'm not going to watch that because the name's stupid.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, no, watch it. It's awesome. It's so good.
Consider it like a campy thing,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, there's some good ass kicking nuns in there. And so, I definitely give that one
wrong
a go. And then another one with kind of a goofy name that we've enjoyed and we've kind of put on pause for a little bit because we're watching a bunch of different other stuff is Teenage Bounty Hunters.
Teenage Bounty Hunters.
Yeah. And I haven't done any research on the background of this. I don't know if it's based on a graphic novel or a short story or anything else, or whether this is just a brand new idea from somebody's crazy head. But
it's a Netflix show as well.
Yeah. This show, I mean, the 2 girls that play the bounty hunters, I've never seen them in anything else before.
No, me neither.
But you happen to point out to me who one of the stars is. And I had to do a double take and then take a look him up online, and sure enough, it was Kadeem Hardison.
Right.
And if you've been around as long as we have, we watched the Cosby Show growing up, and then there was a spinoff called A Different World,
right?
Where, oh gosh, I can't remember her name.
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. That was her starring vehicle, after the Cosby Show, and Kadeem Hardison was in that show.
One of the friends.
One of the friends. Were they off at college?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
And so he was a college friend. And, he was just a skinny dude on the show. Mm-hmm. And so seeing him in Teenage Bounty Hunters, and he's easily 100 pounds heavier, mm-hmm. And grayer. And you're like, hey, that's Kadeem Hardison from A Different World. And I'm like, what? No way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who that is. And so, yeah, he's one of the main characters. He owns a ice cream shop,
among other things. Let's not give stuff away.
And then he moonlights as a bounty hunter,
yeah.
And through a series of events, manages to get hooked up with these two teenage girls that hoodwink him into hiring him as bounty hunters,
in training.
And that's about where we'll leave it right now. But definitely, if you want something funny and entertaining and has a little bit of ass kicking in it, watch Teenage Bounty Hunters. So that was fun. We got a couple more to go on here.
Another family night one.
Oh yeah, a couple of family night movies, and for those of you that are Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan fans, we watched Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2. I'm sure that Rush Hour 3 will be coming up here at some point.
Yeah, but Carter enjoyed both of the first two.
Yep, and actually I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, good grief, I think Rush Hour was filmed in 98, and Rush Hour 2 was early 2002, I think somewhere
it was 2001 I saw it.
Yeah, right around in there. And so those movies are 20 years old, mm-hmm. and they actually held up pretty good. The comedy was very funny. Still funny.
Action
straight up.
Movie still.
I felt just a twinge of racial stereotyping here with all the Asian activity in the movies because Jackie Chan's in it, and so there's a little bit that
probably wouldn't fly as much.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly as much in 2020, but for the most part, I think it's pretty good. And again, Carter really enjoyed him. It's always great to see him laugh. There's not much that can get the kid to laugh, and so when he's just looking over at us for kind of the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That was funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
It's fun to share movies with him like that.
Yeah.
I think the one that he said he wanted to watch next was the first Bill and Ted's.
Oh,
because he
has not seen that.
He's seen that the new one is going to come out and wants to understand what it's all about, and so we're going to have to suffer through that one.
That one I suspect will not hold up as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be fun watching the first one. The second one was not as good.
Hopefully we don't need to watch that one to enjoy the newest one.
Hopefully not. So that'll be coming up here very shortly. And then finally, we got onto Disney Plus, and I don't know, for some reason, I saw that they had both seasons of Gravity Falls on Disney Plus.
This was a favorite of Carter's.
Growing up, and I had missed multiple episodes, and I didn't really when that last season was on.
Mm-hmm. I think he and I watched a lot more of them. I tended to follow along with him because I loved the show.
Yeah. So that's what we're going through right now. Gravity Falls. It's an animated show on Disney.
Episodes.
Yeah, there's 41 episodes. It's a story of brother and sister, and now they're twins, right?
They are twins.
Mabel and Dipper Pines, and they
stay with their great uncle Stan.
Right.
They call him Grunkle Stan.
Grunkle Stan in what's the name of the city? It's in
Gravity
Oregon.
Falls.
Gravity Falls. Yes, thank you. Gravity Falls. Jeez. What's the name of the city? Gravity Falls. Okay. But yes, Gravity Falls, Oregon. And they have this, their uncle, Grunkle Stan, is kind of a shyster type
when
of a
there's no
dude.
cops around, anything's legal.
Mystery shack.
Yeah. Like
roadside attraction.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of a shyster that basically tries
in it for the buck.
Yeah, in it for the money. But there's dark stuff happening in those woods.
Yeah, there's truly an underlying mystery that only Dipper seems to be looking into.
Right. Very fun for kids and adults alike. So if you've heard the buzz around Gravity Falls and you have Disney Plus and you've never watched it, give it a watch.
Yep.
Yeah. So are there any new shows or movies that you're looking forward to?
Oh, yeah. There's actually a lot coming up in the next week.
All right. Lay it on me, sister.
September. Well, Mulan.
Yes.
It's definitely one of them. It's been we've been waiting. We've been waiting a long time for that one.
Yeah.
And that's a Disney Plus because it would have been a theatrical release, but that's not happening. So they are going to put that out.
Yeah. Did you say that it was live action?
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. But yeah, it's the
That's
live action version of Mulan.
I was really wrapped up into
Hopefully
taking a lovely
have-
sip of my beverage while you were
Yes.
talking.
Hopefully people have seen the previews on that.
Yeah, it actually looks very epic and cinematic, and it looks like they did a fantastic job. So I actually can't, I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Right.
So that comes out next week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one you didn't we didn't talk about before this but I showed you the preview. It was a new romantic comedy that's going to come out.
That's why it didn't make the list. Yeah.
So it's a new chick flick, whatever.
Yeah. Well, tell us about it. You remember what it was called?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
We'll splice it in afterwards.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Love on the Rocks. Romance in the Straw.
Really good. Why did I bring it up? Not remember. I should have not brought it up. I'm sorry. You'll have
Way to
cut
go.
all this out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't remember.
This is where the show died,
no,
folks.
you'll cut all this out.
No, I'm going to leave it in here.
You always say that, and
I'm
then
going to
you
add a
don't.
bunch of little sound effects and, wah, wah, wah.
Well, there's,
the Jeopardy theme song.
The new romantic comedy thing is a big deal because they don't come, like, good ones don't come out that often.
Sure.
And this one looked worthy.
Mm-hmm. So all those Hallmark ones that you watch every year?
Not noteworthy.
Okay.
Just they all kind of run together.
Okay.
People know this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, cool. Well, if we can figure it out, we'll tell them on the next episode.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. What else is coming up?
Well, I have just seen hints and drips and drabs of this movie with Dav Patel and Tilda Swinton. Excuse me. Woo! Tilda Swinton and Hugh Laurie, and it's called The Personal History of David Copperfield. So I know it's based on the Dickens novel David Copperfield.
Right.
I've never read that. I don't know what the story is. It's definitely a time period piece of, Edwardian times or
which I normally hate, but it looked good.
It looked actually kind of funny. So I'm curious. So I don't know much about it. It looks like it's getting released in theaters, which I think people are crazy.
Totally.
So I don't know if this will be, released online somewhere in a fast follow, or if it truly is. The theaters are gonna hedge their bets that this is the movie that will get people to return to the theaters and risk getting coronavirus by seeing The Personal History of David Copperfield. So I'll wait till it's streaming online somewhere. Anyway, one that I'm actually really excited about because we enjoyed season 1 so much was The Boys on Amazon Prime.
The superheroes.
So yes, and that's not the good superheroes either.
Naughty superheroes.
It's the bad superheroes. And I can't remember what the lead character. He's kind of a Captain America type guy, but that's not his name.
But he's an ass.
Yeah, he's a complete ass and does evil things. And the guy who played the actor who played Bones on the new Star Trek movies has a lead character. A lead character in that. And gosh, the first season was so good.
It was.
And so I'm really looking forward to that. One's coming out here really soon on Amazon Prime. And then I've never watched Fargo, the TV series, before.
No, me neither. Just the movie.
It's critically acclaimed. Everybody that I've ever talked to that's watched it is like, oh my God, you have to watch Fargo. And it'll be something that probably here sooner or later I'll give a try. But season 4 looks really good because Chris Rock is on it.
Okay.
And
what is it, like American Horror Story where it's different cast every year?
Yes, yeah. Oh, okay. I believe it's like that. And I think it's kind of mystery, drama, probably lots of violence. And,
well, I mean, if it's anything like the movie.
Well, yeah.
That was hyper violent.
I think in name only.
What channel is that?
it's like FX or something like that, TMG or the Turner Movie Network, or I can't remember.
It's a cable network.
But anyway, I think that might be one that we actually give a whirl to when it's released here. Is the season 4 of Fargo with Chris Rock. It looks pretty good. He plays a 1930s, I think, 40s gangster.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what it looks like to me in the trailer. And that's been a while since I've seen the trailer. I just saw an ad though that it's getting released here pretty soon. So
okay, cool.
I kind of want to see that.
I will remain open-minded.
Okay, well,
I'm assuming we'd start with season 1.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. I think. They've had big names in it for all the different seasons, but I know that they're all different. So,
okay, well, interesting.
Yeah. And then
not paid attention.
finally, coming back to television is the return of professional football. Are we excited about this, or do we care?
I have to say yes.
Yeah.
It's like with a tinge of sadness.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going to be a lot like watching, the hockey game that we were watching earlier this evening.
Yeah, where all the seats are covered up.
And they're piping in the crowd noise.
It sure seemed like it.
It seems unusual. So, it'll be interesting. The Seahawks season opener, I think, is September 13th against the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
I don't know if they're doing a preseason or if that is
isn't that
preseason.
Sad that we don't even know that?
I don't know anything. I haven't been following anything.
It's
just because
sad.
I've heard it's a shorter season, you're not going to be able to go. I don't know if they were going to have like partial stadium seating. I've heard that they were going to allow
spaced out
seating within the football stadiums and whatnot. But so I guess we'll just kind of see it. I'm not going to buy a ticket and I'm not going to go to a game, but I'll watch it on TV if it's.
I want to follow them.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I just I couldn't get into baseball because I didn't know when any of the games were being played and what channel they were being played.
The Mariners have not proven themselves to go the distance over the years, so we don't really have the same motivation to find out the schedule as we do with our Seahawks.
Yeah, this is true. So anyway, all right.
But yes, to answer that, I'm up for it.
All right, cool. So here we are. What you guys didn't realize is that we actually took a break, just a tiny little break. So actually, Jen could look up the rom-com that she was stuttering and stammering about, trying to remember what the name was. And so, Jen, take it away. Let us know what the name of that rom-com is.
All right, I totally found it. It took me 10 seconds. It's called Love Guaranteed, and it comes out September 3rd, and it's got Rachel Lee Cook in it and Damon Wayans Jr., and she plays a lawyer. And I don't know how she ends up with a case, but she's got a case against a dating site, and so she ends up becoming a customer of the dating site to investigate.
I see.
And, hilarity ensues.
Right. A huge, deep plot.
And happy endings right and left.
Happy endings left and right.
The good kind. Happily ever after. I meant happily ever after.
Sign me up.
I meant happily ever after.
Okay. All right. So those of you that are fans of rom-coms, remind us what the name of that is again.
Love Guaranteed.
And any network? What?
Oh, Netflix.
Netflix. It's on Netflix. All right. So those of you that enjoy Netflixing and chilling, nothing like a nice romantic comedy for Netflix and chill. Pop your popcorn, pop your cork, have some wine and popcorn, and enjoy a nice romantic comedy.
Along with your sweaty balls.
Wow, you really took it to a whole different level there, Jen.
That's what that voice was. Come on, don't deny it. That's the sweaty balls voice.
No, it wasn't. It was just my own. So anyway, on to other things. Hey, it's time for a new segment called Disturbin the Burbs Question of the Day. And it may be more than one question, but obviously we get a lot of email from listeners across American across the globe, actually, and so they're curious. They want to know what we're thinking, what we're all about. They have questions for us, and so we wanted just to kind of surface some of these questions that have been sent in to us. So you up for answering a few questions, Jen?
I will give it
from our listeners. All right. Hey, this is from Rosemary in Lincoln, Nebraska. She asks us, What movie can you watch over and over without ever getting tired of it?
Romancing the Stone.
Really? Is that
the one that
is that the one that
immediately came to mind?
Yeah. Okay. And why?
I can quote that sucker.
Yeah. And what's so great about Romancing the Stone to you?
Oh God. The humor, the characters, it's a great story. And I literally can quote probably 2/3 of the lines.
Yeah.
Don't test me.
Joan Wilder, you and your sister can go. So Danny DeVito, Michael Douglas,
Kathleen Turner,
younger, thinner Kathleen Turner. That's a fun movie. I watched that many times.
There are more than just that. That's just the one that immediately came to mind. What about you?
Well, the one that we watch currently over and over again, and that's Chef with John Favreau and John Leguizamo. What's her face is in that? Sofia Vergara. Robert Downey Jr. has a little part in it. Yeah. But that's definitely a favorite movie of mine that we've watched over and over again. And then, of course, we've watched the other one with Keira Knightley. Begin Again. Yeah, Begin Again.
For some reason, we
Mark
always
Ruffalo.
Group those two together.
Yeah, and we haven't watched it. It's been a while, so we're due. We're due to watch that one. Yeah. Is there any other movies that we kind of...
I don't know if it's both of us, but there's a lot of romantic comedies that I would always watch. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Serendipity. I think they're Christmas movies.
One that I think a lot of people would definitely say is all the Harry Potter movies, right? And we did our fair share. I don't know how many times I've watched that series. Dozens of times. But I'm actually really burnt out.
We slowed way down in the past couple of years.
Yeah. So anytime that they're playing on Sci-Fi or any other channel, I may watch like 15 minutes of it and then move on because I remember how many times I've seen it. And anyway, but that one's probably my favorite that I've watched over and over and over again.
The Proposal.
Sandra Bullock yes, that one's really funny. Holy cow, Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. Yeah, definitely that one's a good. I guess it would classify as a romantic comedy, but heavy on the comedy. And if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan, this one's pretty funny. Yeah. So I think those are good answers to that question. And then, hey, Brady in Salt Lake City, Utah, asks, what weird food combinations do you really enjoy? And this one's kind of a hard question for me. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that I mean, I think you're talking about, the folks that like peanut butter and marshmallow sandwiches or peanut butter and mayonnaise.
I like put salt on my watermelon.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that weird. I think other people do that, or cantaloupe. Yeah. Any melon. I
like pepperoni and pineapple pizza.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think a lot of people would consider you weird for that. There's a lot of pineapple haters out there. Yeah. But yeah, I can't think of anything really weird. I hate it
when people put candy in popcorn. That's just not right.
I have an unhealthy infatuation with peanut butter.
You do.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you don't like smear it on your body or anything, but
that you know of.
Oh God.
Just my nipples.
I'm sexy and I know it.
The things.
Weird food combinations. Focus, honey.
The things I do when you're out grocery shopping. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man, that one's a hard question. Yeah. So.
I had at least one answer there.
Yeah. I just can't think of anything weird. That I eat
combination wise anyway.
Yeah, combination wise, everything I eat makes sense. It's usually to reduce stress. And anyway,
moving
on to Kevin in Bristol, Connecticut. Finally, let's do this and make it the last question here. Okay. What's something you really resent paying for?
Oh, yeah, I have these.
Everything.
Car repairs.
Yeah, car repairs.
I mean, any appliance repair, home appliance repair.
Yeah. I think the you okay?
Sorry, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Anything that, especially as a homeowner, anything that are kind of these, as a homeowner you've got to take care of, but it's like when you have to buy a new water heater,
Yeah.
you know, and it because it's not a toy, you
Yeah,
know, or
it's not going to make your life happier.
right, right.
It's just gonna
So
let you-
something like that, or a plumbing repair, or I know eventually we'll have to get the roof, redone on the
wanna
house.
talk about that.
And, you know, there'll be that'll, you know,
Yeah.
the kitchen's been fun because it's new and sparkly
Yeah,
and I
it
see it
makes
every
us
day and
happy.
use it every day.
Yep. Totally different.
And it'll increase the value of the house, much like spending the money on the back patio and the awning that we put up. All of that is helps increase the value of the house somewhat.
Yeah.
And makes it all enjoyable. But yeah, I think those kind of hidden homeowner costs or you mentioned car repairs.
Yeah. It pisses me off when I have to buy new tires.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tires. That one's a tough one too. I don't mind. I never mind oil, like changing the oil and that kind of thing,
that's
because I knew
$60, not 600.
because I know that's going to prolong the life of the vehicle. But
Mhm.
yeah, any of those big things. So yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Those are my biggies.
Yeah.
Medical
Those are good.
bills, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
So thanks. Hey, thanks everybody for
If you have a
for your
question,
questions. Yeah, definitely. If you have a question, keep sending them in. You can get a hold of us many ways. You can send us a direct message on our Facebook page or Instagram or our website at disturbintheburbs.com. Twitter. Well, no, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to Twitter. So
Well,
if you put a question out there, it'll languish in Twitter land for quite a while because I don't.
Don't you get a notification?
I think I've got notifications turned off for Twitter, but I do pay
Never
attention. I
mind.
pay close attention to all the other stuff, emails. The Disturbin the Burbs hotline at 1-206-800-6405.
Nice.
You can send us your questions in there. So I look forward to the next questions that we go over next time. Anyway, you're ready for horoscopes?
I am.
Let's tie up the show, bring it to an end, hit a home run with our horoscopes.
Okay.
All right, Jen, you're up first with Aries.
Here we go. You must have smothered your inner douchebag, Aries, because you have buckets of good karma. Use that mojo to your advantage and work on your relationships that have gone sour lately. You'll be surprised by the results.
Nice. Okay, Aries, you go. Use that good karma to your advantage. All right. It isn't exactly a secret, Taurus, that you're not the most charitable person. Wah, wah, wah. But maybe just for once, you should focus on something other than yourself. The cool thing is you don't have to do it alone. Talk to your friends and piggyback on one of their pet causes. Baby steps, Taurus, baby steps.
That's nice. You've been busting your ass at work, Gemini, and hopefully you're getting some high fives for your efforts. But all work and no play will smother the twins, so be sure to find a distraction and do something fun.
Now, by twins, that's not the boobs, right? You get that Gemini is the twins.
That's why I giggled a little bit. It's
Okay.
like Gemini, I got it.
Yeah. It's nothing like being smothered by the twins.
Moving on.
All right. Oh, boy. Don't be such a pussy, Cancer. Be bold, be brave, or you're going to kick your own ass for missing out on an amazing opportunity. Of course, I'm
That's
a
you,
Cancer,
yeah.
so I wrote that for myself.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
All right. The only thing tighter than your ass, Leo, is the iron grip you have on your emotions. It wouldn't hurt to loosen both of those up a little and talk about the things that are bugging the shit out of you right now.
All right. Well, that's good advice. All right. It's make it or break it time for your love life, Virgo. Make sure that you and your boo are seeing eye to eye on all the shit that matters. Yeah, we know that serious stuff is a pain in the ass, but if you don't step up, you may just regret it. That one's for you, Sean.
Virgo. Okay. No jokes this time, Libra. Pay attention to how you're feeling and don't ignore any aches or pains. Listen to your body. It's trying to tell you something.
All right. Well, that's good.
trying
Aren't
to
you
tell me I'm
Libra?
old?
I don't. Maybe. I'm listening to the stars, and this is what they're
Right.
telling me.
Okay.
All right. This is a spectacular time for you, Scorpio. Anytime your life takes a significant turn, it turns you into a big stress ball, but trust your instincts and jump in with both feet. We promise it'll be worth it.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Ew, we don't envy you, dear Sagittarius. There's family drama a-brewing. Time to kick some dirt on that shit and leave it behind. Hang out with your friends instead.
Yeah, right? Oh, that's good advice, man. Just kick some shit on that family drama and leave it behind. All right. Damn! People are all up in your business, Capricorn, twisting your words and making you feel like crap. But wait, don't forget, you've got balls of steel. So don't take their shit. Put those asshats in their place.
Yeah. It's all about the money, Aquarius, and you're feeling the pinch right now. Try to remember that you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
That sounds like a song.
Nice, nice one, honey.
All right, and finally, you could be feeling a little sensitive, Pisces. Don't be such a wuss and grow a thicker skin. Oh, was that too harsh? Well, suck it up, Buttercup, and quit playing the victim.
Oh.
All right. Well, that wraps up the show. This was our marginally epic show number 20.
Episode 20.
Episode 20 of Disturbin the Burbs. As usual, it was a blast, Jen. It was fun putting out another episode. And until next time...
we don't have a tagline.
And until next time, we don't have a tagline.
Bye.
Love you, Jen.
Love you too.
Bye.